was good timing.
The timing is great. Guys, welcome to another installment of Into the West Comics, new comic book day edition. I've got, speaking of new, you got a fresh new look over there. Who is that? You look at a model. What a handsome guy. Uncle Nephew Shane joins us for New Comic Book Day. You did a great job hosting.
Thank you so much. It was one of the pleasures of my life hosting last week. I'm sure it was. I'll get another chance to do it. I felt really very comfortable.
A lot of new comics. I'm always behind on reading my books, but these guys were checking out the stuff in the last couple weeks or their last couple pulls. Marcus, what do you got for the people?
Hey, good evening. Or afternoon or morning, whenever you're watching this. So I went one of each this time around. I did a Marvel and a DC title. Usually, I could have easily just went all DC again, but I wanted to kind of do what I can to try to be as representative of both of the big two as much as I can. And the pick for me this week was the new Avengers run by Jed MacKay. And it was great. So you actually have Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers is the leader. And basically she's reforming the team. And she I like the lineup. She's picking Sam Wilson, Captain America, Iron Man, Tony Stark again, Thor, even invited T'Challa back, even though T'Challa has been kind of rubbing people the wrong way in both in his book, in his world, as well as in the Avengers world in terms of trust issues and stuff like that. Vision and Scarlet Witch. So I love the team. It ends in a great cliffhanger that leaves you very interested in what's going to happen coming forward. And also, I appreciated Jed MacKay's afterword that he put in there, because one of the things that I like about hardcovers and omnibuses and all these special edition things is when the writer takes the time to actually talk about what it is that inspired him or what led him to write the way he did or what have you. And I really appreciated the afterword, and he makes me excited for what he has planned ahead, because he's been an excellent writer. I know you've heard me mention him before. He's writing Moon Knight. He's writing the new Doctor Strange, which is also very good. And I believe he's departing from Moon Knight, actually, and someone's taking over in a couple of issues. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that in a later time. And then second book is The Vigil, Dawn of DC. So this is a brand spanking new title, new characters, new lineup, everything. And it is it's written by Ram V, and Ram V is an excellent writer. He's proven himself time
Detective Comics is killer right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's proven himself time and time again. I haven't read I think he wrote some Swamp Thing.
Yes, that's fantastic too.
I have not read that, but I will be doing that too. Very soon. The Vigil is basically a new group of meta-humans, and they're humans. Yeah, too many animal videos I'm watching. Anyway, and they have powers, and they're based out of Southeast Asia, nice. And they're operating underneath the radar of the government, independent of the basically kind of like how we think of the CIA, when you see, they're spending $10,000 for a toilet seat and all this kind of stuff. Well, all that extra money that's being unaccounted for, it's going to this group to fund this group, and they're starting up.
Oh, interesting.
And it starts off very cinematic in that it starts off where you see a group of pirates go and try to commandeer a pirate ship, or not a pirate ship, I'm sorry, a cargo ship that is transporting some high value technologies, and so you see them in action as you're following. On the flip side, you're following someone who's actually going to be new into the fold of the group. So you're following her story, and you're kind of getting some of the background of the agency through her while the mission is going on, and it goes back and forth in a very cinematic style, and it's very good. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Cyborg, yes.
I'm excited for that. Yeah,
I have Cyborg on the way. I have it. I just haven't read it yet. But yeah, some of the art in there is fantastic, very cinematic looking. That's the theme. cinematic for this
I would agree.
particular book.
After having flipped through it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about picking it up. I definitely am now.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very solid. So another kind of James Bond style kind of action espionage sort of vibe to it. So it's very cool.
Yeah, Ram V is fantastic, and I think having this I think this is the kind of like expanding of the world that comics kind of need, having some Southeast Asia stuff going on. And then the reason Marcus and I mentioned Cyborg is it's one of the ads in the middle of the comic. That looks like it's going to be super good. My only trepidation is I have not read anything from the person writing it.
Right.
So I'm a little like, I don't know if I want to spend money on this.
I've got it. I'll bring it for you.
Okay, I definitely would like to check that out.
I'll bring it in.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate how what DC is doing is you're having them throw a whole bunch of obscure characters out there again, and giving them miniseries to see what give everyone exposure to them, while at the same time they are expanding their universe too. I can appreciate that.
I think the last time they did that was at the end of Dark Knight Metals, the first one. And they had like the new challengers and stuff and some of the new comics. Not all those were great, but it was fun to watch them do different characters. And I think Capullo did the art on the new challengers one, which was dope. But I'm definitely going to pick up the Vigil. I'm not the biggest Marvel guy, but I might pick up the Avengers, especially because it's a #1 and Jed McKay is great.
Right.
But for me this week, I'm actually doing, the last one came out last week, and that's the one I'll show you, and it just looks incredible, is World's Finest by Mark Waid, Dan Mora, and I want to mention Tamara Bonvillain, who is the colorist on it, who deserves just as much credit as Dan Mora and Mark Waid on it. Now, the first arc and a half was the Devil Neza, which led into the Batman versus Robin arc, which was fantastic. Mark Waid really, really writes well to Dan Mora's strengths. Mark Waid goes, well, let me write in characters who can look incredibly interesting and give him something dope to draw. And Dan Mora gets that with Mark Waid. It's like, I kind of mentioned this the last time I talked about it, which was a few months ago. It's like a Sunday morning superhero cartoon. It's like reading a Sunday morning superhero cartoon. The second arc was the Joker and Keymaster, and they're trying to they're up to stuff, and they're trying to take this boy from Superman and Batman, who is from a different dimension, who the Superman and Batman are mentoring, and they're trying to get him, and the Keymaster sees him as a key to other dimensions. And at the end of the arc, pretty much, Boy Thunder is his name. You see him almost kill the Joker when they get out, and then so they take him. They're like, "Hey, relax." But when he's about to kill the Joker, he's like, "I don't care if I run into next week or 20 years from now. I will kill you if I see you again." And when he says 20 years from now, it flashes forward. Boy Thunder is Magog from Kingdom Come, and that has me super excited to see what they do later, because when he goes and he gets sucked into a different dimension at the end of the arc and finds the god Gog, and you're kind of going to see the origin of the character, who a very layered, interesting character that kind of kicks off the events of Kingdom Come. And that's super cool to see. And now the arc that's going on right now is so much fun to read, especially with Mora's art and Bonvillain's color. So Metamorpho is accused of killing someone he is close to. And you get to see Mora draw Metamorpho and his origin, and you have all these the metal men and just a bunch of elemental stuff going on, and Mora gets a chance to flex his muscles with Ultramorpho, who's a new villain who can control all the elements of the periodic table, and then you have Amazo, except it's not. It's New Mazo, which is probably my only critique. It's not a great name. But it's interesting because he is a creation of Ivo, and Ivo has taken Magnus, who creates the Metal Men, who are good guys, and they're forcing him to help him, and they make New Mazo, who then usurps Ivo and Magnus, and he is going to try and kill Superman and Batman, and now Dick Grayson Robin has to get the Titans to go and save them, and I think that's where Mark Waid's Titans is going to come in. This is kind of going to be the introduction into that, to go, hey, go read that, because it's going to be the Titans from this continuity that Waid's going to be writing. Because we were talking about it in chat the other day. I was like, is Waid's Titan, it's going to be Teen Titans, is going to be the same crew that Tom Taylor's writing?
Right. Yeah,
so it isn't.
They're the Teen Titans.
Yeah, but is it the same characters?
Just
as teenagers.
It's Wally, Dick Grayson, Karen Beecher, Bumblebee, Wonder Girl.
Yes, so I believe it's going to be in this continuity, the World's Finest continuity.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, so I think that would be dope and get to see them kind of together before that book premieres. But this has been probably the easiest read and most fun comic outside of some Tom Taylor stuff that I've been reading recently. And Dan Moore is the best. He is the best. Bruno Affrodondo and him, and then everybody else. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend catching up on this. And what I love most about this arc is there's 15 issues out right now. There is only one issue that Mora did not do the interiors on. I hate when they get a great artist on something like Zdarsky and Jimenez, and then they have him on for 5 issues and then he's gone. I despise that because you get to see this great art, and then it's the same story. It's just as good from a writing standpoint, but there's just something taking them back.
Yeah, you're like, something different. Wait, something's different. Wait and then you flip back and you're like, oh.
So I love that Mora is on every single one of these issues because it's fantastic. And this whole run has just been super cool.
Right.
Well, you had mentioned that Teen Titans, the World's Finest Teen Titans series, it's going to be written by Mark Waid. The artist is Emanuela Lupacino, but they're going to have like variant covers by...
She is the one who did the only interior art on this one. Yeah. And it was fine. It just isn't.
Samney's going to do variants for it. Jimmy Chung is going to do variants for it.
Nice.
Jimmy.
I'm excited for that. I like Teen Titans. That was like one of the first like group titles that was like read. I was little. Like that was a book that was like, I always liked Teen Titans.
I've got the trade for Marv Wolfman's at my house. I got to read it.
That's good stuff.
Oh yeah,
Marv Wolfman's stuff
with the Judas contract.
Yes,
Judas
that one
contract,
exactly. Yeah,
might be. Yeah. Couple things we're gonna go rapid fire or Fast and Furious if we
oh boy,
if I can say that for a
Frank,
moment.
did you watch Fast and the Furious?
I did. I saw it.
Oh,
if you liked Al Ewing and his run with the Immortal Hulk, which we all did, when's it coming? Like I think July or August. We're gonna get our omnibus. I'll bring it in for you to check out.
Please.
He's gonna be taking on now the Immortal Thor. That's gonna be starting in August. This coming August. I'm excited to be reading that. If you guys haven't done so already, do us a favor. Our friends are collaborating with Whatnot Publishers, Comic Tom Garcia, and Fire Guy Ryan Sargent. They're going to be collaborating with horror legend Ben Templesmith. They'll be doing their own limited series. It comes out July 5th. FOC for that book is June 5th. So make sure you make your way down to your LCS to put an order in for Crashdown. It's a little bit of aliens and Lost and some Lovecraftian type of spin on it, and it's a horror series. It looks crazy. So we're looking forward to that.
Yep. And if you didn't watch us last week talking with him, and you're watching the new Comic Book Days but haven't watched the live show 2 weeks ago, go watch our live show with them on it. Their insight into how they built this book and how it all came together is super entertaining.
We're working on it for like a year before it materialized. So it was a really cool concept for them to break it down for us. That's awesome. Guys, we got a lot of suggestions for you. We're not telling you to read everything that we're reading. Well, maybe we are. But if you're not,
we're telling them exactly that.
We're telling you exactly that. Let us know down in the comments below what you're checking out right now, what you've been reading. And we'll talk to you guys soon for another installment of New Comic Book Day.
Until next time.
Go read them. We ain't playing with you.
This book is great though. Like for real, like read it.
Do it.